Hi, I'm Carrie Toth with Fluency Matters, and I would like to share with you one of my favorite activities for ending any story. I use it a lot when I finish a reader in my classroom, and it's called the Yellow Brick Road Retell. I actually got the idea from some pins that I saw by elementary school teachers, and I thought that the Yellow Brick Road would have a lot of great uses in the language classroom because the idea behind the road is to get students retelling a story using transition words and using a lot of detail. And that's one of the things that our students sometimes lack. When we think about them moving forward in their proficiency, and obviously we want our students to have fun and enjoy our classroom, but we also want them to see how language will fit into their career in the future. And so to do that, they need to feel a little bit of proficiency. And sometimes we have offers in our state like the Seal of Biliteracy and now the Global Seal of Biliteracy that's available to all students in the United States. There's my cat, Gary. And so with these opportunities to earn honors, it becomes really important just to give our students the little things that they need to step their proficiency up to that next level. And one of those things that they need is the transition words and the story detail, being able to really do a cohesive story with a lot of great details from start to finish. So that's what the Yellow Brick Road does. I'm going to disappear from the video and you're going to switch to just my voice, but I'd like to tell you step by step what I do to set up a Yellow Brick Road. I do have a whole pack available on my TPT, but you can kind of make your own too. So if you'd like to see what I do, you're welcome to go into TPT to get that pack. But I'm going to share with you exactly how I make the activity, so if you want to make your own, that's okay too. I like to put on each brick of the road a different transition word for levels 1 and 2. My goal with them is to get them retelling a story with great detail and with strong transitions. So it might be at the beginning, at the end, then, and later. For my level 3 and 4 students, I want them to go beyond just a retell of the story. So I might ask them to think about different parts. When was it really exciting? It was very exciting when, or my favorite part was when, or the climax of this story was when. In the packet that I have on TPT, I have it available in 6 languages thanks to some really great language teacher friends with the transition word pack. Today what I did was I chose things that compared sugar in the film that we were studying and Felipe Alou in the novel that we had read. It's a Fluency Matters novel, and both men are baseball players. So there are a lot of similarities and differences. But I took just little sentence starters and I put them in the bricks on the floor. And then pairs of students stood on either side of the brick and they had to talk, the student on the left, for 1 minute about the first brick they stood at. Then student 2 had to talk about the first brick they stood at. And they kept moving down the brick road for all 10 bricks. And it gave us a great 10-minute review of both stories before we did our final speaking assessment. This is what my students looked like.
Felipe, Tira,
Baby. Baby. Baby's drinks.
See. So here they are again, standing either side of the brick. The first pair stood opposite the first brick. I skipped a brick. The second pair stood opposite the third brick. The third pair stood opposite the fifth brick. And each time they advanced, they just moved forward 1 brick. And they would then, at the end of the row, come back to the beginning to complete the story. So it is a really easy and fun activity. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out my activity. I hope that you really enjoy it and that it... My camera is rocking because my cat is now rubbing his face against my iPad. So I would just like to say I hope that this is a great review for your students and that you see great results whenever they try to retell stories to you or when they're just trying to compare, contrast, or find common details within the stories that they're reading in your classroom. Have a great night.